Hello everyone. I'm on live now. Just help me to. And so you are welcome. You are welcome to my healthy food place. Sharing ideas and recipes on how you can stay healthy naturally. Happy Sunday to you all and happy new month. Happy new month. Welcome to the month of May. So let's talk about weight gain. That's the focus for today. How to manage weight gain, controlling weight gain, especially amongst the women. Yes, how to manage weight gain. Weight gain is anybody could start experiencing weight gain, although some people are more prone to add weight easily than others. But that is not to say that someone who was slim before, on the slim side, cannot suddenly start gaining weight, especially amongst the women. Sometimes it could be affected or caused by hormonal issues. Some overactive and or underactive thyroid could also be responsible for either excessive weight gain or sometimes weight loss. Whichever one, it is better to be on the healthy side of weight. Excessive weight gain is bad. Too much weight loss is even worse. And interestingly, I happen to have been on both sides. Yes, you can easily talk or better talk of what you have experienced. Now, I know a lot of people may be surprised hearing that I've been on both sides. Yes, I've been on both sides of being overweight, weighing up to 125, and then being, as a result of effort to lose weight, became almost too skinny, especially with those who are familiar with my former size. Now, if you hadn't known that person before, and you see the person looking very skinny, or somebody who weighs up to 70 may not look so skinny before you, but that was about my weight, 68, 70, and I looked so skinny then. People were worried for me. People were worried. And so I knew how I was feeling. It wasn't good also for me. And so, but that is not the focus. The focus today is about weight gain and how to avoid it, especially amongst menopausal women. Now, if you are already overweight and you are already up to 60 years or above, there's no age that you attain for that weight gain becomes impossible. Weight loss becomes impossible. Now, if you suddenly also start noticing weight gain, you are welcome. Hi. Jenkins. Now, if you suddenly start noticing weight gain, a sudden increase in your weight, it is something to be concerned about. Now, I'm going to share some of the secrets that has helped me to remain and stay on the healthy side of weight. And of course, we're not going to take much time doing this today. So one of the secrets is to be conscious of your weight. If you are conscious of your weight, some people are not conscious. If you are desirous to be on the healthy side of weight, you will be conscious of your weight, and you will also know when you are adding even the smallest of weight. You will notice it and start doing something immediately about it, because it is easy, or rather easier, for weight to settle, for you to suddenly become overweight, than to lose it. Because when the weight gain comes, the next thing is sicknesses and diseases. And that is why I want to highlight the reason why you should be mindful or concerned about your weight. Now, gone were the days when you see people looking very big and bulky, whether men or women. It looks like something, a show of affluence or well-being, a sign of well-being, Those days are gone. If you are too heavy for your size, for your age, it's no longer a sign of, sometimes it's even a display of indiscipline when it comes to food. Yes, that's how I see it with seniors. Now, if you are someone that, you are a knowledgeable person, and I see you very big, very bulky with big tummy, it shows that there are some, to me, it displays some level of maybe indiscipline when it comes to food. Because some people cannot control themselves. They eat anything on sight. It doesn't matter their educational level. Sometimes it goes with upbringing, how you were raised. Yes, because nobody was born with any of the traits that he or she displays. It is what you find, or what we are inputted on you, just like a computer. So if you are born or you are raised in a way that you just eat and eat, anytime, and you eat large portions, when you grow up, it becomes difficult for you to manage and just suddenly start going by little portions, or give it timing of eating and all of that. But it is not something is impossible. Why? It is possible, and it is also desirable because of your health. Yes, because of the impact and the effects on your health. And I want to highlight a few of the effects that being overweight places on our health. I know some of you already are aware of it, but let me just remind us or give us a highlight on it. Number one, it opens door for high blood pressure. Yes, some people, a good number of people are complaining of high blood pressure. Before the high blood pressure, they were overweight. Now, let me also explain something about being overweight. Sometimes you see certain individuals, they look healthy, but when you check their weight, they are just too heavy, too weighty for their size. They are too concentrated inside. That is being overweight. And when such people suffer high blood pressure, they will have to lose weight. They must have to lose weight a little for them to really start enjoying a healthy body. Now, if you are also someone that is a little bit slim, not too bulky, it may also not be a sign that you are too slim. Some people are slim, looking slim. If you are someone that is also big, sorry about that, I think it's a mix up there. So it should be the other way. So some people are actually bulky, looking big, but inside they don't weigh much. It's not a concentrated fat. There's not much in it. I have seen a lot of people who climb the weighing instrument, and instead of seeing something like 100, 110, surprisingly, I saw something much lower. especially like I happen to be like that. When you see me, I look very slim. You might be thinking I'm weighing something like 65, 70, but to shock you, when I climb the weighing the instrument, that I may weigh far more than that. So what are some of the other health implications apart from high blood pressure? High blood sugar. Yes, you can start suddenly. If you suddenly start noticing weight gain, you know that it's time to do something fast. And I want to highlight, before I leave, we end this life, I want to mention a few of the things that I am personally doing to make sure that I check the weight gain, in order to also check the effects of excess body weight. And so one of the things that it can cause, another thing it can cause, apart from causing your blood sugar, I have also personally noticed that whenever there is an increase in my weight, most times the blood sugar begins also to rise. I have personally noticed it. So it's not something I read somewhere, it's something I have personally observed in my own body. And so it will open door for blood sugar to begin to rise. And then it will also open door for things like poor blood circulation, especially in seniors, things like arthritis, because when you add weight, the entire weight gain, especially without a corresponding rise or increase in your muscle and your bones, of course, you know that most of these ones, they don't have to increase. You just have to make them stronger another way. And so it's going to place more work, more load on the bones. Yes, it's going to place more work and more load on the bones. And that is why you need to watch it, because it's going to affect your bone very soon. You may start complaining of maybe arthritis or other bone-related issues. And so besides these things, other heart-related problems, poor circulation, and a host of other things. And a good number of people, or a good number of times also, you notice that people with excess body weight, they seem to have also high cholesterol, high bad cholesterol, because most of these things, they go together, they work together. And so what are the things that you should be doing, and what exactly am I doing to control the weight gain so that it doesn't get out of place? Number one is watching it, as having an eye on it. I already said that. Then number two is including metabolism boosting foods. Yes, including foods that can speed up metabolism. And we know some foods like that. A good number of them are in the spice family. The cayenne peppers, they are in the spice family. Foods like black peppers and the spice family. Gingers, inflammation fighting foods, garlic, ginger, all of them are in it. Even turmeric, lemongrass, some of the teas. Yes, even the green tea. Though not so much of green tea these days, but it's also one of the foods that helps, especially with younger people. You can benefit a lot if you make it a part of your diet in order to control weight. It's among the foods. Then you occasional coffee. Yes, you heard me. Yes, some of you don't want to hear coffee. I take occasional coffee even right now because it has high antioxidants, a lot of other benefits, but not as a habit, not frequently. As a matter of fact, more than the black tea. I feel it more beneficial for seniors than taking black tea that we normally used to be fond of, which is even more common in terms of assessing it. And so then the next thing I do is including more of proteins, because protein is the building block. There are other herbs also that can help me that I take occasional guava leaf tea. Some other teas also, like making tea from herbs like rosemary, herbs like that. They also help to boost your metabolism, improve blood circulation, and reduce the risk of me gaining weight. Yes, and then including more proteins in the diet, especially plant-based. Black-eyed cowpea, yes, it's part of it. Boiled egg is particularly good when you are trying to lose weight, especially belly fat. Sometimes you may notice that the weight gain is settling around your stomach area. That is something you should also be very much concerned about. Why? Because most times it is a sign, a warning sign that insulin resistance may be building up. If you start noticing that your belly area is becoming not only bigger than usual, but becoming like it's into steps. I do occasionally notice that when you are eating too much of the starchy foods, even if they are the healthy ones, sometimes if you start taking it too frequently, even sweet potatoes, which is one of my healthiest carbs, which I do suggest for seniors, whether it's sweet potatoes, whether it's cocoyam, or whichever one you are taking. But as long as you are taking it frequently, cassava flour is going to gradually start building up insulin resistance. Even the unripe plantain, yes, a lot of you rely on it, especially pre-diabetics. If you take it frequently, it has a resistant kind of starch, but it definitely starts to build up. I shared a video, ensure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I shared a video sometimes, which is already in the channel, about how unripe plantain consumption can secretly build up insulin resistance among pre-diabetics and even diabetic without you knowing. And you are consuming it. And because these things happen slowly, gradually, so most times you don't even know that it's going on. But when it happened to me, I quickly realized it and stopped consuming it for a season. Mark those words, for a season, because saying that the food shows off some negative effects or ugly effects is not a sign that you should just run away and say, no, it's doing like this also, I'm no more gonna eat it again. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just you have to slow down on that food so that you give your body time to, offload the excess. That's the way I like to put it. Offload the excess. Yes. Yes, thank you so much, my lovely friend. I do see your comments, and I want to thank you for being here and for coming. Yes, you are welcome, Valesi. I hope I'm calling that name very well, 1951. I hope I am not damaging, destroying that the way I call it. Oh, okay, Valesi, Elsie. So you are highly welcome to my life, and I'm talking about weight gain, how I'm managing my own weight, because I happen to have been on the heavy weight side before, some years ago, and I knew what health challenges I was going through a lot. So, a lot of sicknesses could just disappear by merely losing weight. It's surprising. Thank you for your comment. You love my teaching, and you can also drop any comment right now. I will quickly respond to it. If there is any concern you have, honestly, about health, or it doesn't matter the area, remember, I really share from my own experience. And experience, they say, is the best teacher. Yes, there are certain things I share that you may not even have read it elsewhere. But because I experienced it, I come out and share so that what I went through, others won't go through it. That's the essence. Education is what we call it. You educate that person so that you won't fall a prey to some of the things like that. So once again, I'm so glad to have you in the house, Valesi. And so I already mentioned why we should have an eye on weight gain. In case you even have somebody, you are not you may not even be overweight. Some people, it's not their problem. But why it is good to equip ourselves with knowledge is because some people whom I know before were not big, they were not overweight, but suddenly something just changed. During the time pre-menopause or at one point in their life, they started noticing. I noticed that they are far bigger than they used to be. And so that is why if you have the knowledge already, you don't need to be bothered. You will know what to do. For instance, myself now, I said, right in this I am sharing part, specifically what I'm doing to manage and control my weight gain. Because once in a while it comes. If you are giving to weight gain, because at the beginning I said some people are giving to weight gain, some are not. And so some, don't look at other people, all our bodies are not the same. Some people could eat the same food, live in this, do everything the same with you, but they will gain more weight because of their own body and makeup. And so you need to be just particularly mindful about your own so as to avoid the weight gain and its negative effects on our health. So apart from having an eye on my weight, as I said at the beginning, another thing I do to make sure that the weight is not too much, because if you go to the internet or some other places, you read about exercising, going to the gym. I don't go to the gym. Even when I moved from about 125 kg to about 70 something or 80, when all the diseases, including stomach ulcers, disappeared. I wasn't going to gym. It's just a decision, a change in my diet and my lifestyle with moderate exercise. Not to say that exercise shouldn't be a part of it, but it's not something you need to go pay for and start going for. Reverend Ngozi, you are welcome to the house. I welcome you and appreciate you for coming. Happy Sunday and happy new month. Yes, we're all glad we made it to the month of May, and I'm grateful to God for that. So what I'm saying is that weight gain is something that I always have an eye on it. Yes, an eye on it because I am prone to it. Sometimes it has something to do with genetics. I strongly believe that. And so what do I mean by that? If you have a family history of being fat, being big, you have to be very conscious of it because you are likely to be big, no matter, even if you are not eating much. And so then if that is a genetic aspect, but even if you don't have any history of fat people or fat persons in your family line, sometimes also you could just start like you are enjoying yourself, or you know what people call enjoyment. You just tend to be more relaxed. You know, when you have a relaxed mind. In fact, I told one of my friends recently that you make person fat small, Jerry. It's good. It's good. When you fat small, go and snap yourself. Make a photo or a video and keep it somewhere. Because life is changing. So that when something happens or later you get slim, you use that and remember that you were once very, very fat and begging for weight loss to come. And so if you are mindful of it, number one thing, that is what I do. You are not likely to be overweight. So you will always being mindful of it is not to say that every morning you go and stand on the weighing instrument. Not at all. I have it. I have the weighing machine or whatever they call it, but I don't have to go stand on it. Sometimes 2 months I don't use it. That's not the way to be having an eye on your weight. That will give you more heartache. It's just to be conscious of the dresses you're putting on, how you feel. Sometimes when you sit down, when you notice that weight, maybe when you sit, for instance, one of the ways I used to know that my weight is when I sit on the bed and the bed make like there's a weight on it. I say, yes, weight gain has come. So the next day, I will physically examine myself, my tummy, and I will notice that truly the weight gain is coming. And what do? I start including some of the foods, including guava leaf tea. I go and boil and take, including hibiscus tea. Some of you may be complaining of one thing or the other. There are several things. Even I recently noticed that this stone breaker can drop your sugar and your weight very fast too. So most of the herbal teas, they are good in it, but you must take it with caution and guidance. I did a shot either yesterday or so where I was drinking this bitter melon. Such food that cleanses you. I just did a shot to show us where I was drinking it. If you go to my channel, you see it. It's just a shot, drinking the thing to help to cleanse. But I don't normally take much. Sometimes it should be more than that. I'm always so careful about detox, because detoxing helps you to remain on the healthy weight. But why I need to also caution us is because I'm always cautious. Why? Because if you are taking something to keep your bowel moving, you must be careful. Because sometimes you may be taking something to cleanse you, to make you feel light, maybe you are heavy, and suddenly, because you are not being guided, your stomach loses its balance. And when that balance is lost, immediately it's lost, you will know it. You get the signal. You start running to the loo almost every 30 minutes. And that is even more life-threatening than constipation. Do you agree with me? I need you to comment below if you agree, because that is my own feeling. So you must be very careful with trying to lose weight, that through detox. I do it. Okay, you say you are very disciplined. And what about you? Yes. What about you? I'm not as disciplined as you may be thinking. There's sometimes I eat very, very funny. I'm being honest with you. I have to be very frank. Sometimes I won't show you, but I'm mindful of the content of what I eat. But sometimes I really enjoy myself. That is the truth. At times I really enjoy myself, but knowing the consequence of what I'm eating. And so that is it. That is it. We just like our food. I was talking with someone recently on the phone. She was actually, I don't know, maybe she may even be in the house, I don't know. But she was, we are talking about this weight gain thing. Because most time when I talk with a couple of people on issue, I like to go live on it. That's how some of the things that actually trigger. If I have this one call me, this one call me, this one call, I have a series of calls on a particular issue. Then I like to, if I have the time during that week or thereabout, I like to schedule a live so that other people who are also maybe intending to call, or maybe they didn't get me very well because I couldn't give the person much time, and now come on live to, talk more and expand on it very well, much more than I could have done talking with just one person. And so I was talking with such person on the weight gain something. So I told her that, as you see me, sometimes I normally enjoy myself. I'm responding to this your comment that sometimes we just like our food. So I was telling her that I sometimes enjoy myself. So she was like, really? I said, yes, I enjoy myself because don't eat this, don't eat that. So that one day you not just notice that your memory is no longer as it used to be. Because some of the foods that we are trying to avoid because we want to lose weight, a good number of them are food that support also our brain health. You say you don't want to eat this, you don't want to eat this. I was avoiding some foods like rice for several years. A very nice grain that a lot of people were enjoying, not because of any specific diagnosis of either diabetes or whatever, but just because of knowledge of the fact that it's inflammatory. Okay, this guava and bitter leaf. Okay, it's good you comment so that I'll talk about it. Okay, let me also talk about this your guava and bitter leaf tea a little bit. Now, I said before, and I want you to listen very well, that losing weight is not easy. Why? Because something like guava leaf now is a bit harsh. I tell you the truth. I can't take guava leaf for more than a day or two, and very small quantity. And why it even goes a little with me is because I'm not on any medication. Those who are on medication, either for BP, will not find the guava leaf very interesting. You know why? Now, the guava leaf burns fat so fast that your bones will feel the impact. So much that you need extra protein. It is one of the principles, when you want to lose fat, you must guard against your bones and your muscles by including loading yourself with more high quality protein so that you won't be affected the other way. The same thing with bitter leaf. Now for bitter leaf, I stopped for a long time. Bitter leaf. Yes, bitter leaf is very high in antioxidants, and such foods like to work with fat. Yes, in those days they cook it with lots of red oil. They cook it with lots of oil. And I have observed that if you cook bitter leaf without lots of fat, you won't enjoy bitter. Money no Allah, you're welcome. Money no Allah Coca, you're welcome to the house. Though you may be coming slightly late, I appreciate you. And I want you to pay attention. I'm responding to the comment by Ngozi Amadiogo on guava and bitter leaf tea. He said he used to drain him. I'm saying that high antioxidant foods will do exactly what you are saying. And not only does it, I have received reports, not just reports, I have felt it myself. Reports from people trying to use guava leaf tea to lose weight. And they came back saying, that this their bones were making some sound, and they were, whether it's bones or muscle, they don't know, but that they didn't like the way they were feeling. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you want to lose weight, you must back up with lots of protein. Okay, now, when you are talking of arthritis, how old are you? Can you just drop that comment, please? Because if you, age also is a factor regarding what remedy you are using. So if you are trying to lose weight, my dear, okay, look at somebody like 74 years now. There are some remedies I won't be giving to you for weight loss. Yes, there are some remedies, but I don't think your case is even weight loss. You want to lose weight. Most people after 70, a good number of them no longer have problem. They already mastered the skill on how to maintain their weight. But the issue of arthritis is ensuring that you have, first of all, if your weight is much, you must have to lose it. Let me know, I've seen your age. Let me know if you are overweight. If you are not, then if you are overweight, you have to work to bring it down by eating the right foods. And then for the arthritis, although there are a lot of remedies out there that are being shared, that you can place on your arthritis to relieve it. You can do this. But if you identify the cause of it, such as poor blood circulation, low mineral density, for instance, it's good to identify the cause. Yes, if you identify the cause of that bone, that arthritis, we will know what to do. If it's caused by of excess body weight, there's too much weight on the joint. And then I said it now. I said that most people after 70, they don't have, their problem is not how to lose weight anymore. Sometimes maybe this arthritis thing, and most times this arthritis thing came up because of don't eat this, don't eat that. That's why I did a video also on it. And occasionally you need to be cooking your meals with sea salt. Let me know if you are doing that. I've been using it since 2009 or 2008 to cook all my meals. And even several years later, I began to use it to do for my oral and teeth remedies after one tooth was removed, about 3 years ago. So none of us, you can't say yes. You can, sometimes you may be thinking, I've never had any hair challenge again. No, I do occasionally. Inflammations, because we love our food, like you said. So for the case of the arthritis now, you must identify it. First of all, your weight is not the issue. Okay, Celtic salt. Well, I have not been using it. What I use is the normal sea salt. There are people also who are using Celtic salt is good, as I learned, who are using Himalayan pink salt, but I use the sea salt. The natural salt is very good, if it's a good one, to help you for minerals in your bones. And then, besides that, you have to be deliberate about certain foods that you need to include gently, like your age now. If you want to take something like chia seed, I don't even know where you are writing from, whether you have access. If you have access to chia seed, you can soak a little, just to help support the bones, to help to support. Yes, you need to, okay, you are in UK. Okay, you need to occasionally soak, as I mark the words occasionally, because it's not something, it's very high in calcium. It's a source of omega-3. So these two nutrients helps, and it contains some amount of protein, a little. So because protein is scarce and it's raw, it's a raw food. So it doesn't have much of carbohydrates, and it's one of the foods that helps open up detoxification pathways. There's some foods that clogs arteries. You have to avoid them. No, foods that clog arteries, carbohydrates, they clog arteries. Some of them particularly, like the unripe plantain. Some other carbohydrates that we love. But one thing with arthritis again is that it starts to settle gradually. And so before you start feeling the pain, sometimes it's already gone for. But that's not to say that it's not reversible. Once you stop eating the food, you identify the cause of it and withdraw. Gradually, it may take some time, but it starts going out. Avoid foods that clog artery. Like me now, as you see me now, it's over a month or 2 months. I haven't had plantain. I even wanted to take it last week, but it's not in season now. It has its own benefit, potassium, heart health, one of my top foods for heart health, and I know when I need it. For instance, right now, I need it, but though it's not available, I need it. I don't know how some of you are able to identify certain things when your body needs it. But then I was taking it until it started to build up insulin resistance gradually. So I left it for a while. That is one of my secrets. When you notice that food that you're enjoying, it's repairing, doing some repair work in your body. And when it has finished the repair work and you keep on enjoying it, and it's beginning to do you some other signs, you just abandon it for a while. That's what I do. So I abandoned it for a while, and recently I've been looking out for it. I have not seen it because it's not in season. And then I tried sweet potatoes, but they're not the same. No, I told us in one of my videos, I don't know whether here or on another platform, that no two foods. Look at you are talking of sweet potatoes as if you knew what I wanted to say. Now, I said in one of my videos, I don't know whether it's here or somewhere else, but that no two foods are the same. When I couldn't find it, I was taking sweet potato, but sweet potato is not doing the job. And I know it's not doing that job. And it's for my heart health. I don't know, I may not have the scientific name for it, but I know that I need it. Maybe it's potassium or magnesium, I don't know. But I know that thing is in unripe plantain. And if I see it, fresh one, Whatever it costs me, if I have the money, I go for it. That's how I do. Because I know that I need it. That is exactly how our body functions. Now, for instance, you are talking, these sweet potatoes, sometimes it's recommended for things like arthritis. Yes, it's recommended for things like arthritis. But let me also tell you, when you start consuming all those food, carbohydrates is carbohydrates. That's the truth. Whether the carbohydrates is natural or whatever, it's carbohydrates. And it will always be carbohydrates. So I went for sweet potatoes. I took it a couple of days. Enjoyed it, but then it has some other effects which I don't normally like. It's not a kidney supporting food. Yes, it's not a kidney supporting food. I'm talking of the sweet potatoes. And it's also high in oxalic acid. Oxalate, including, although I take the leaves more. In fact, that's even what I used to make my sauce, my vegetable sauce with onions this morning, around 12. That's what I had. I used the sweet potato leaves. It's one of my favorite leaf vegetables these days. I use it to make my sauce. If I have egg, sardines, or whatever, I use. But today, there was no egg, so I had to use sardine without the oil. Now, I always tell us, sardine is one of the very good food for your bones. If you are experiencing arthritis, sardine and tuna, all those food rich in omega-3. If you want to take the sardine, right here, we don't actually have much of those sardines, fresh sardines. So I've been using the canned sardine since 2008 till date. This is 2025 when I started all this wellness stuff. When I started it, so I use it to I do have. You are talking of. I found some white exported in the shop. Those are not very sweet, but lovely to eat. I don't like meat, but I do have tin sardines. Yes, tin sardine is okay. Meat is not even recommended. I don't recommend meat for people with arthritis. Sardines in olive oil. I used to use the one, but I don't find it anymore. So I buy sardine in vegetable oil and I pull out and drain out all the oils. I did it this morning around between 11 and 12 when I had my breakfast. Yes, sweet potato should not be, if you take it more than 3 times in a week, you start growing fat. It's a carbohydrate. Yes, it's a carbohydrate. It happened to me. Sometimes you eat it, you start enjoying it, especially when it's so dry and fine like that. But when you start enjoying it every day, you have to stop because it's going to start causing weight gain. That's what the sweet potato does. As a matter of fact, that's what it did to me a few days ago, and I had to abandon the one I have. So you are talking of we have purple potatoes and white potatoes. I always suggest people if you find the purple potatoes and the white potatoes, I would suggest you go for the purple sweet potatoes, or you can go for both if you have enough allowance in your bag for money. So you can go for both. But the sweet potatoes, the sweetness does not make it not to be less healthy. The purple one is said to be more, in terms of fighting diseases like cancer. That's what we heard. So, but I always love to have that one if I have mature purple, because purple foods are said to be very good, and I always find them so. So that is it. Okay, I do drain the oil. I only have sardines sometimes. I love avocado. Yes, avocado is good for arthritis. Yes, but you don't have to take it too much. When you take avocado regularly, it's not a daily food. Somebody was asking me, don't take it every day. It's going to cause weight gain and cause you to start having pain on the arthritis. So you must be, the most important thing when managing arthritis is to ensure that you don't add one weight extra, but it's going to be felt on that joint, on that pain. It's going to be felt there. It's going to be felt there. So, like if the oil is olive oil, you don't have to drain it. You know, before now, I was using sardines in olive oil. You that you are in UK, you will be finding a lot of sardines now, even in olive oil, sardines, even in water and all kinds of tomatoes. You have variety there, more than here. So if you find the sardines that are olive oil, you don't have to drain the oil. Why I drain this oil these days is because it's in vegetable oil. So if you see, make sure you read the labels very well. I always, if I find it, even as I speak to you, I'm going to buy the one with olive oil and take it with the olive oil. That was what I was taking before. Later on, it disappeared from our market, or maybe I relocated rather from where I had access to it. And so that is it. So you may not have to drain if it's in olive oil. And then tuna is good too. Why these ones are good for your joints particularly is because of the omega-3. It's because of the omega-3, and they contain calcium. Now, the type of nutrients they have, they are easily absorbed by the body. Now, let me give you an instance of what I'm talking about, how I got to know some of these things. Some 3 years ago, when I had that aching tooth, because you can't talk about pain, something you have never been through. That's why I tell us. It's when you've been through it and been able, you know how it felt and what. So that time when I was having that pain, it was a very severe inflammation. I wasn't able to take a lot of things for myself. This is not something that happened before I started wellness talk. I was already in it before this health challenge. And from time to time, some do come. Like recently, I had massive swelling in my eyes. I have to adjust my diet. Things like tapioca, flour, peanuts, I have to drop them. And later I've returned to them immediately, just less than a week. And they started using some ginger oil and castor oil, a lot of other things, including castor oil to get, it was so swollen like this. In fact, if you see me on the screen, you'll be shocked. But I used food to send it away. And God helped me, because sometimes you may be trying the food, all of the foods, and it may seem nothing is working. That's exactly the testimony or story of some people. So when it works, we give glory to God. So I was able to do that. And so when you are managing something like arthritis, which must have settled, you're having pains there. Sometimes if you take orange, it feels like it goes there straight. So all of those things. So since you're already using sea salt, you use food that have omega-3 fats. Sardine is a good one, tuna and some other fishes like that. They are good. I've mentioned chia seed also. It's also good when it comes to some of the nutrients that can help you to strengthen your bones, to heal it. Yes, to heal it. There are some other seeds that contains calcium also, some of the minerals. And there is this mineral magnesium. Somebody of 74, are you taking any form of magnesium or something that have to do with magnesium, like pumpkin seeds? I'd like to have your comment on it. Because magnesium is very crucial when it comes to bone issues. And I've recently noticed that when you are over 60, your mineral requirements seem to be changing. Yes. And magnesium is one of such minerals. You know, when you were younger, when I was in my 50s, I wasn't really having much of that, eyes on things like magnesium. I was okay. But over the years, the body is changing. So I noticed that magnesium seemed to be something that we need for our bones and for our joints. Yes. Especially when we are using it, when we're overusing it. Look at that. Sometimes it has to do with something. And occasionally, once in a while, you can take it. I don't recommend it regularly. Yes. Once in a while, they have magnesium sulfate, different brands of it. But don't take it regularly. You know why? Because it comes with some other small preservatives. And your bones may not be able to house all of that if you use it regularly. But if you can take foods that are high in magnesium, it will help you also if you take them cautiously. Foods like pumpkin seeds, it's going to help. Pumpkin seed is also very heavy. It's going to help. If you, in addition to the other one, sesame seed. As a matter of fact, this morning now, oh yes, let me tell you something now, like this morning, or rather mid-morning or whatever, because I noticed that, you know, I love peanut. I talked something about peanut. So I noticed something about peanut. Peanut doesn't support blood circulation and it's not good for our joint. So when I started noticing that I see my body, I've taken more than myself, I had to stop it. I told myself, but sometimes temptation makes me to go and take a little because it's very delicious. But I replace it with something. So this morning I was wondering what, I went and got me some sesame seed and got me some pumpkin seed in my kitchen and just dry roasted it. And immediately, that was after my breakfast with this fresh leaves of potatoes, onions, and all those stuff put together, you know, every day. It's not easy. So I had to dry roast it and take it. And when I took it, my head cooled down. I felt like dozing. I had to make tea. How often do you take ginger tea? I'm responding to you. You are talking, you don't know how to. Is it pumpkin seed? Pumpkin seed is very easy. You could use to cook, but I was eat some nuts, but once I start to eat them, I can't stop. Is that you have the same problem? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the problem I have with nuts. In fact, this morning I have to pop like 4 or 5 again, even when I had said that I won't take it today. It's a source of protein. Now, that is why I made a video on it. I made a video, recent one, on peanut, because there's no video I make that didn't have origin of what made me to make it, come and give a video on it. Either it's an experience I had, or somebody shared with me, or something I see happening, or something must have motivated me to go do that video on it. I say, I'll tell myself, I'll do a video tomorrow on this thing. So, nuts are like that. You just eating as if something is, you know, when you say I'm disciplined about what I eat, it was actually nuts that I had in mind when I said, I'm not so disciplined like that too, when it comes to food. Sometimes I eat what I love. Yes, I eat what I love. So it was on my mind that time. Yes, it's not good. It's not good now. It's not good. We must try to be disciplined, because to some extent, something like nuts, especially peanuts, it's not okay. If I talked about almond nuts too, I was taking it. It has some cyanic acid. Some people have reported it's very good for your bones too, very good for your heart. But it contains that acid. So when you take a little, you give a break. I'm just guiding you on one of the things you can do to also handle the arthritis. Once you notice a slight increase in your weight, you withdraw from that food. Yes, you withdraw from it. And start going on foods like apples, all this low calorie stuff, apples, what do they call it? Carrots, all those stuff. You know, all those, what do they call it? Onions, garlic, cucumbers, and cabbage, all those kind of low-calorie foods, green peppers. So you need to focus on all the low-calorie foods. And then you need to avoid foods that are high in oxalic acid. Yes, some of them are good in high in protein, like soya beans. You need to avoid it if you have arthritis. Now, soya beans is a good source of protein, but it has shown me something. I mean, it has taught me a lesson, a bitter lesson, many years ago. And I don't want anybody to be. I still take it today. Even this morning, I added it to my tea. But I tell you the truth, once there is more pain in the body, go off the soya beans for a while. Let me not say for a long time. It's a source of complete amino acids. It's high in protein, not just protein, complete protein. It's a source of magnesium. It's one of the healthiest food for your heart. Please, you can write this one down. It's one of the healthiest foods for your heart. If you get a good, well-processed soya beans, occasionally you sneak it into your diet because of your heart. Some of the healthiest foods. That was the time I left it for a long time, and I started having that, feeling. Those who are over 60, most times it has to do with either the heart or something like that. So I noticed it, and immediately I went back and returned it to my diet. I started to see improvement, and I was okay. So, okay, you say almond irritates me. Terrible. Yes, almond, when you soak it, take 1 or 2. It's okay. It's not something some people that reported some side effects, they were actually having the almond, like 8, 9 almonds on a daily basis. Before they started some were having 12. I've had several people. Blue butterflies, you are welcome to the house. Hello. Yes, you are highly welcome, and I'm glad to meet you. So, when some people who are taking the almond nuts because they heard it's good for your heart, source of calcium. When we hear so many good things about certain things, we are not patient to listen to the bad side too, because they all have their bad side. Whether it's almond, peanut, they also have their good sides too. Whether it's almond, peanut, cashew nut, macadamia, any nut, any food, it has the good and the bad. And I said before, no two foods are the same. Whether they are root vegetables, whether they are green vegetables, or whether they are not, there is no two. That's how Mother Nature made it. So you should know the one that your body is looking for and take it in moderation. Because some people are just focusing on almond until they notice that some things kind of stabbing or feeling on their palm and other things. There was a time I experienced a little side effect of almond, but it wasn't long before I traced that problem to almond and stopped it. But that's not to say I'm forbidding it, because it has numerous health benefits. So I had to stop it. Okay, you're asking me blue butterflies. So I'm saying that almond is good in magnesium for your heart, calcium, and it helps to regulate blood sugar. It helps to regulate your blood, helps you with your blood pressure, with cholesterol, help with weight loss, a brain food. But many people are not aware. I did a video. You can go also and search for that video. Many people are not aware that it's a source of the dangerous acid, cyanic acid, which you can find in cassava. So it has happened to me mildly, this effect I'm telling you. And it can cause death if you do not discover it early and stop the almond. And the remedy is just to stop the almond. And your body gradually start clear off. And when I experienced it, what I was actually feeling was that time I wasn't eating as much as 10 or 12 almonds. But at times I soak like 4 or 5 during the day. So if my sleep is taking some time due to maybe activity, stress, or low calcium, magnesium, or whatever, I just remove about 2 or 3. I remove the pills and just chew. Take a little water, and it just off to sleep in less than 20 or 15 minutes after taking it. So it was so good. So I used to take it sometime during the day. Over time, I started eating it during the day too. But when I notice that feeling, you will feel as if something is moving a little bit. That was my own. But the reports I got from people, they had already consumed too much. About different people, like 3 or 4 persons whom I chat with, who reported with different symptoms. As a good number of them reported that the thing was like, they were linking it to things like nerve issues, neuropathy, all those kind of big names now, all those big medical names. That was what some of them were, thinking that it was. Most time we always in a hurry, and they were trying to link it to diabetes. But when I discovered they were eating too much of the almond, yes, they had to chat. I had to chat them. They had to, when they contacted me, which is what I do with some people. And if you need such close chatting to get to the root cause of your distance, I'm always available for that too. Because one of the best ways to get to the problem is to know the cause of it. So when I found out upon interrogation that they were taking too much of almond, he says, you stop it for now. I said, that's the end of the chat. Just stop this food and get back to me in 2 weeks. Those symptoms will be gone. And exactly as it is, that's what happened. And so in my own case too, mine was not on my palm, actually, because the effects may vary of too much almond. He said, I'm eating it. Yes, it depends. That we have 2 types of almond. We have bitter almond, we have the sweet almond. No, I don't know exactly the difference because they look alike. I've tried to Google the almonds, all the almonds. I don't see much difference on the images. Sometimes the image, but the ones that I normally get is the brown one with little size. You soak and remove the peels, and that's what a lot of people take. So maybe the one you are having, maybe the sweet almond or the bitter, because one of them actually is having more of the cyanic acid than the other. That is the truth. So one of them contains it more. So, but when you look at the images, for those of us here, there's no visible way for me to know. I've searched internet, searched Google everywhere to find out if there is difference in the image. I didn't see. So maybe the one you are eating, I don't know how much you eat in a day, it doesn't matter, because I have eaten a lot too. Okay, if you do experience itching in my body when I have consumed too much nuts, that one is normal with nuts, even peanuts. Most of them come with itching. Yes, all those stuff and other side effects. So like my own almond is usually raw. I soak it, raw almond, I soak it for a few hours, maximum of maybe overnight. So if I want to eat it in the evening, for instance, I soak it. I've not had it for some months now. I think about a month or 2. I've not had, or 6 weeks to be precise. So I soak it and then take, but I want to bring it back. I don't leave any food away for too long because they all have good sides and bad sides, like I said. You don't have to say because it did this thing to you, you will never eat it again. No. So since all those symptoms I had disappeared, they've all gone. So the only thing you have to do is to return after a long time to come back. But now you take it cautiously. You will no longer be eating it in large amounts. It's not good to, consume it. It contains that cyanic acid, and I've got reports apart from myself feeling it. So if you take too much nuts generally, it's going to cause you to have eating, not only eating, even eye problem. I told us now, my own, it was eyes. I like peanuts. Even no matter what, sometimes I'll still go and prefer small and eat. Cashew, unsalted nuts. Yes, unsalted is sometimes better. Yes, but you don't have to take much cashew because cashew is rich in zinc and magnesium. It's good for blood pressure. Very good. I have all of them. I have cashew nuts. I do have cashew. I do have. In fact, most of my common nuts I take are the cashew and the peanut. I take more of peanut because it has more amount of protein. I don't even know. They said some people are saying cashews contains protein. Well, what I know is more abundant in the cashew is the more abundant is the healthy fats, which is very good for brain. It helps you also to sleep. But peanut does it, but once you take too much, you won't sleep. You won't sleep. That's just the truth. Because it doesn't support proper blood circulation. It's good for diabetics now. What can you say? Cashew nut is good for diabetic, but not too much. I feel that peanut is better because of the percentage of protein is higher. And you need protein to manage things like diabetes. You need healthy fats too. But you don't need to take much, honestly speaking. If you are taking the nut, you should have both because they are not the same. You know that cashew contains antimicrobial properties. You can't find antimicrobial properties in peanuts. You can't find them there. So, and most of the nuts, they easily can have molds. It's common to cashew nuts too. So, and sometimes peanuts can have too. So that is the thing. But cashew nut is not good for diabetics. Who told you? You take it in moderation. It's a healthy fat. It is a healthy fat. Unless you are telling me you have, if you consume it too much, it's going to be affecting your heart. You're going to be causing like you are too heavy, which is not good. Okay, oh, great. I love that. So we are in the same club. And but you are a more senior. You should be also contributing, please, and telling us some of your secrets. I'm just 60 plus, and you are already 70 plus. So that's great. And I'm so happy and excited to hear that you are not on any medication. I mean, to say that you are on this medication for BP or for blood sugar. Not to say that once in a while you cannot have your magnesium, maybe occasionally. Maybe you want to relax and you've been into too much of stress during the day, or you've had a stressful activity once in a while and you just finish your dinner. You feel you need to relax. Once in a while, you can have it. That's not to say you have medication. Yes, no medicines. Congratulations for that. And that is also to say that what we are saying is true. It's not that it's not attainable or it's not achievable. It's not only attainable, it's possible, it's achievable. Because you are even more older than myself, and look, you are enjoying a healthy aging. It's not to say that occasional things will not happen here and there. Yes, ma'am, I eat avocado every day for healthy fat, and now because of tariffs, a medium-sized avocado is $4. Wow, each, and a small one, $2. This is terrible, my God. It's everywhere. We are experiencing it. And this, my sister, also, you will need to share with us. Drop a few comments on some of your secrets that are helping you. You are 70 plus. So there are a lot of things that you are enjoying. Just tell us one or two in the comment section so that others will learn that, yes, let me hear from you, because we are all learning. I'm learning too. So you are older than me. should be sharing with me or with us some of your secrets. Val Elsie, yes, 1951. You've been a bit longer on this life, and I want to thank you for it, for contributions, your comments, and I need you to also contribute on this. Yes, look at my plant-based African brother is here. Peace and blessings. You're welcome from America. You are welcome. Please share with us. Oh, okay, you agree with me, blue butterflies. Oh my God, thank you. I want my friend, my lovely friend Val in 1951 to kindly share a few things with us, some of the secrets that help you to clock 74, and you are not on medication. Yes, I have a positive outlook on life, and I have always taken care of myself. Okay, that is good. What our sister and our mommy is saying, maybe she may need to write one or two things nutritionally, but I'm excited about the point she raised. And that's part of emotion. You know, when you are growing older, your body doesn't actually need much food. Just have a positive outlook. It's one of my secrets also. Always be thankful, be grateful for everything. Be happy for, do you exercise? Okay, somebody is asking you a question, whether you are exercising. That's our Val LC 1951. Blue butterflies. I think she's I think she's in UK. You are from okay, let me check the comment. Plant-based African brother. Okay, he's commenting from America. You are welcome. Okay, you are commenting from UK. Okay, I need you to tell us some of the secrets. But one of the ones she has commented is that she has a positive outlook on life. And I've always taken care. Yes, you need to take care of yourself. But we wanted to know one or two foods that you are eating regularly as a 74. Though you said you have arthritis, I'm not even surprised, because a lot of people, the fact that you're not even on medication at 74 is something I need to congratulate you about. If I congratulate myself at 61 without being on medication, they talk less of someone who is 10 years more than myself. That's a great feat, and it's a great grace too, because I said it's part of it is grace, having a positive outlook. I just love that statement. Emotions plays a role, more roles in our head as we get older. Sometimes when you look around you and you are unhappy, you are sad, you feel you haven't achieved much as you should expect. Some of these things could make you feel like life is not worth living. So that's it. So you become discouraged in life. It's not good for seniors. So if you can also let us know some foods, one or two foods that you are taking, because our time is, I think, going now. So do you exercise? Exercise. I know she should be exercising, but not those rigorous exercising. Yes, not rigorous, not all those rigorous. Too much exercising. But body massage. Yes. So let us know one or two foods that you consume, whether regularly or that feature regularly in your diet, so that others will learn from it. So let's have one or two. Is she still in the house? Our mommy Val Elsie, if I'm not calling it wrongly. I doubt if she's still in the house. Okay, I don't know whether she's still in the house. So maybe, is she still in the house? Okay, she's there. Oh, she just dropped her response now. He said, in my earlier years, I have attended Zumba classes and group walking. I'm a grandmother and great-grandmother. I'm from Jamaica, and I have various food kind. Okay. Anyway, I don't. Let's not stress our mommy, our grandmother, Val Elsie, more. Okay. Ma'am Grace, okay. You said my AIC is still high, even higher. I am convinced that due to the high altitude I live is in is keeping my blood sugar too high. Okay, the high altitude, like, I don't get, is it like you're living in a high place? Maybe the building is high-rise building or so. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you are trying to say? Whether the building is high-rise building or whether it's affecting? And the okay. Well, I cannot really say that, whether it's affecting. Is it always cold there? If it's always cold, definitely, it's most likely. Is it always cold? Responding to blue butterflies. Okay, you said yes, but you have summer. Your blood sugars. It's most likely that you don't have some of the herbs there. It's most likely you don't have some of the herbs. Recently, I was taking this stone breaker just to support my kidney health. I boil it and drink. We have some of these things around. You can go to your neighbor and get some of them within and around you. So I noticed my blood sugar went down to 68. Okay, he said, I do like to listen to teachers like yourself. I do take advice on what to eat for our health. Okay, thank you. So I was like, in the case of the blood sugar now, I was taking this stone breaker. It's not bitter. And occasionally I just boil it. It wasn't part of my diet. Like I said, we must be making changes from time to time and equipping ourselves with knowledge, such as being in live sessions like this. So I now, boil the stone breaker. It's tasteless, doesn't have taste, and certain. I noticed my urine and quantity and quality improved. You need to be having eyes when you are doing all these things. So occasionally I was taking, not knowing that it was actually working more on my blood sugar. Okay, one of my blood tests shows that I'm not taking enough oxygen. That reflects people who live in high altitude. Okay, you are not taking, but there are some foods that can help oxygenate your blood. I think we talked about it last time. Foods like beetroot. You talked about, I think, blood pressure last time. I think that's what you mentioned it last time when we came here for live. You're talking of some other health issues. If there's something you can do about your location, but most times there's little or nothing we can do. So, but if you are not taking, there are some foods that actually helps with oxygenating the blood. Foods like beets. I know beet does it. And I notice, okay, you are talking of the diabetes. If the beet is even very sweet. Beet is very, very sweet. I'm telling you. I took it the other day. And in the evening, let me just share my experience. I want you to listen. Sometimes it's part of the things I'm learning every day. So I'm not a beetroot person. So I got to market and I bought this beetroot because my spouse used to have occasional blood pressure. I said, okay, let me buy it and then share it. So that, let me even taste it. It's very sweet. It's very red. I took it. Then later on in the day, towards the evening, I don't even know what was responsible for that. But I happened to take this, there's this vegetable called efirin. It's a scent leaf. I added it to my dinner. I had it, and then I had this bitter melon boiled and took a little, very little. But when I went to lie down, I crushed some moringa leaves and added to that dinner. But when I went to relax, have something like a rest around 6 p.m., I noticed that there was this rush of oxygen in my blood, in my body. It was too much. My dear, we are talking of oxygen in the blood. Too much is not good. I noticed it. You know what I did? I tried to, I noticed it was just going in and almost trying to affect my breathing. You know when air is going into your blood too much. That's why when I make some videos, some people are wondering, how did I come about it? Oxygen is good in the blood, but it can be too much. So what did I do? I quickly took coconut oil. You can see, you can note this one. That's why I don't joke with it. So immediately it started happening like that. I handled my cold pressed coconut oil and took a small capful of it, and that thing has ceased, stopped. Yes, I have beetroot, carrots, ginger, apple, all juiced and blend together. It's a lovely drink. Yes. You know, so you in where you are based, you have electricity, light. But let me be honest with you, be frank. You know, here, electricity, light is zero. So what I do, I take, like this morning, I had my carrots. I didn't have to blend it. No, there are blenders, but unless you have generators, and it's not something you easily start. So I have to take my carrots, take my, what is it? I took carrots, sometimes I took cucumber, cabbage. I slice them in a kind of wash and slice and just eat. Just eat it. At other times, like I could take apples. So I took apple cider this morning. So, okay, I took apple cider, about 2 cupfuls, and I don't normally take it. But as I told us, there's always a reason. No two breakfasts are the same. So depend on what you had is and how you felt throughout the night. That is how the life of seniors is. Every day is not the same. So it's how you felt in the morning will determine what you are going to, how you're going to start your breakfast. But most importantly, you must start with water therapy. Warm water therapy. And there are times when the lemon juice is available, you take it. Jamaica, I believe, were some of the first people that were juicing. Okay, that's good. That is very, very good. That's very interesting. Juicing is very good. I got everything to make my juice, but the environment and the accessibility, light, power supply has, put this thing to most of those things. So sometimes you don't see me doing videos on juicing and all those stuff. They are there. The juicers are there, everything are there. But most times, especially when you don't have a standby someone who will be assisting you with generators, buy fuel, oil, and all this stuff. So that's why most of the times I just cut it and ate it once in a while. But if things happen to change and I have juice, I juice them and stock them in the fridge. Like some days now, we've enjoyed some power supply, and then I will have to also bring it. But there's no difference actually. As a matter of fact, some people are saying that not juicing is better. I'm not supporting not juicing because I'm not juicing. Juicing is better for older people. People like us, we need juiced. Sometimes the intestine needs to rest so that we can just give it what it needs to heal, not just, stressing it with the grinding and digestion and all of that. And so, thank you all for coming. I think we should be calling it a day. I can see that we are almost done with the charts. Some of the first people that were choosing. So thank you all. Appreciate you all. Have a blessed Sunday, my lovely people. Yes.